everybody. How are you? Welcome to the very first episode of
Collard
Collard
and
and
sushi.
Sushi. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. My name is Malinda, and I am joined by my very, very dear friend.
I'm Kelsey over here in Japan.
Yay, Kelsey! So, you guys, we decided to start this podcast. We are both Black mothers of
Yeah.
biracial, multicultural children. They are Black and Japanese. Kelsey and I met years ago in Japan, and we formed such a solid friendship. Our lives are very similar in a lot of ways, but also very
Yeah.
different. Like she says, she's still in Japan. I am here in America, but we are both doing the very best we can raising our beautiful children.
Yeah.
So that is what this podcast is going to be about, being parents, raising biracial children, multicultural children, everyday struggles, just everyday life. So again, we are so happy to have you guys here. We are so excited.
Yes. Join us on our
And
journey.
as you all get to know us, I really truly hope that you will give us your feedback. Let us know what you want us to talk about, and let's get into it. So, Kelsey, tell the folks about you.
So, like Malinda said, we met years ago. I feel like it was like 20 years ago almost. It was a while ago.
Girl, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long
Almost
time
20
ago.
years ago. That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's wild.
I came to
That's
Japan.
wild. We old, y'all. We old.
I'm gonna go with what your son said earlier. We're not old. We're not old yet.
We're
older, but we're not old yet.
Fine wine.
Right, exactly.
Fine wine.
I came to Japan after college, just like I said, for a good time, not a long time, but it ended up being a long time. And I met someone here eventually, had 2 kids, 2 wonderful, beautiful, but crazy kids. You know how that is sometimes,
I do.
Yeah, and I've been here ever since. Many times I've wanted to go back, but I think just recently the situation has really escalated in the United States that I'm kind of thinking maybe I need to be somewhere majority of the time in another place and just come back to visit or for a short time. Yeah, but we'll get into that.
We got issues. We got issues.
Every place has issues too. Every place has issues.
That's very true. I was just having this conversation with Yui. At the end of the day, there is no perfect place because perfect doesn't exist.
Facts.
Perfection is a lie, folks. It's a lie.
Yes.
Even if you had your own island, it would never be perfect. There would always be something you would like, oh, with this, with that, So you're right. Everybody's got their issues. Everybody's got their things. Just some places have more issues than others.
This is true.
And where I am here in LA, as it's burning, in the United States of America, we have way more issues than a lot of places do.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I didn't plan to stay over here this long. It just worked out that way. But there's some great things about Japan. There's some great things, like with every place, like we just said. And so I am first and foremost a mother. That's the first shift, the main job. And then after that, I am working career counseling, and I do that and enjoy that. And I also write a little bit on the side. So, keep your eyes open for some of that.
Right. We are English major, journalism major. We read. We're scholars.
Yes. we are very much.
So all my book folks, shout us out.
Yes, and if you have book recs, let us know, because like Malinda said, we are avid book readers.
Yes, I completely agree. Please do. So as Kelsey said, I'm Malinda. Hi, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I am also a mother of 2. I have a beautiful, beautiful son. He is almost 15 years old this month. Happy early birthday, Messiah. I have a daughter, Yui. She is 10. Um, and I am divorced. I'm single. I've been divorced for many years now. But out of that union, produced two of the most beautiful human beings in the world, and I love them very much. So, like Kelsey was saying, being a parent is your full-time job. That's your main job. But what I do for a living is I am a flight attendant, but I also work as a voice actor and voice narrator. I do a lot of audiobooks. So you go on Amazon and find something, it may be me reading that to you. So, and I am here, like I said, in LA. LA is burning. LA is burning. Just a quick shout out. Thankfully, my children and I are in a safe zone, but if you're able to donate, if you're able to help out, volunteer, or even just giving love, your prayers, your good energy to so many people who have been devastated by these fires in the Los
Yeah.
Angeles area, we would greatly appreciate it. So thank you, thank you,
Yes,
thank
please.
you.
Anything goes a
Yeah.
little way.
Right,
Mhm.
right, exactly. So that's us. That's a little bit about us. That's our little introduction. So let's get into it. Kelsey, let's talk about current affairs. And right now the big thing going on is the TikTok
TikTok
ban
ban.
here in the US. Now, Kelsey is like she said, she is not here in America.
Yeah.
She's in Japan. So ain't no banning going on for her. Kelsey, like, what's your take on
Yeah,
it being
so
on the outside?
like you said, it's still here. It's still in our app store. So we're an Android family here. So we use the Google store. It's still in there. I'm pretty sure it'll still be there. Nobody's really talking about it in the sense that we're worried about it being banned. But from my like Japanese friends and other foreigners that I know that live in Japan, some people are kind of concerned with where this will lead to because they're thinking is this just like the start of it, of something bigger. And Japan and China haven't always had the best relationship anyways. So there are some
Right.
people that, do think, well, China's taking your data and da 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 because of how their government is structured. But at the end of the day, everybody's taking your data. Because you're just giving it away, you
Right.
know?
Right.
You're giving it away. You basically anytime you sign up for something, anytime you check an email,
Mm-hmm.
anytime you think, we have devices in our house that be listening to us. And
Right.
so
Right.
it's really
She's right over there.
right. I went over there.
Yeah,
Can't say her name
she's right,
because,
right over there.
she'll
Yeah.
perk up. But
I was gonna say. I was gonna say
and
that light start to go.
right,
Like I wasn't talking to you, sis, but thank
right.
you.
Has
I
it happened to you
appreciate you.
before where you were not talking to her and suddenly she was like,
Oh yeah.
"Mhm,
Oh yeah. She'll like, oh, my
nobody
girl.
asked."
No. And I literally, and let me tell you, like I'm very much like iRobot person. I'm not pro AI. I'm very much like in the Will Smith, they gonna kill us. I'm very much in the this is the Matrix. I'm very much about I'm gonna be nice. It's like when I get on public transportation and a schizophrenic crazy person
Mm,
is, going off or whatever, and I'm like, oh Lord, I don't know what voice is talking to them, but let me be nice to them because that way when they start talking to them other voices, at least the one voice that I talked to, they was like, oh no, she's nice, stab the other person. That's this is literally how I
I feel
feel
you though. I
when
feel
it
you.
comes to,
I'm with that mindset.
because I'm like, no. And then like sometimes like the kids be real short with her and I'm just like, no, no, no.
Right. Yes.
No, we gonna be nice because when she come and bring her comrades and they start taking over. And it's bad enough that, oh no, Kelsey, oh, there we go. And it's bad enough that like we have self-driving cars and all of
Mhm.
that. Like I'm I'm like, no, we gonna be nice to AI.
Right.
We're gonna be nice. I always say thank you. She tell me, I thank you, thank you, thank you, girl. Because again, when they take over, I need them to, you know, because the sentient thing is gonna be happening. Ooh, here we go. Because the sentient thing is gonna be happening.
No.
I'm literally like, no, you're not going to come for me. I was nice. I
Yes,
was one of the
I
nice
treated you
ones.
right.
You know, like again, I robot, like
Yes, because actually, Coral
traumatized.
is like that. She'll be like, "Nobody asked you," and I'm like, "Oh dear."
Mhm.
I know it's a
Same,
device,
same.
but calm down. She's like, "No, be quiet.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody's talking to you."
Yeah. Huey will be very short with her. Sometimes Messiah will be short with her, but I'm just like, nah, y'all, nah. I saw the movies.
Yeah, right,
They
right,
told
right.
they told
What's gonna
us
happen?
what was going to happen.
And you can kind of
Like,
actually see some of that like art imitating life now. Actually, there's a lot of things that I think probably like, our parents, maybe even our grandparents would never have imagined that we could do and have. And it's just like, it's there. I remember very
exactly.
vividly Catholic school, Sister Rita saying, "You're never going to have a calculator in your back pocket." And I'm like, I got one now.
Sister Rita, I got a
I got
calculator,
a
I got a
encyclopedia,
pad,
thesaurus,
I got a
dictionary.
freaking assistant, I got a shopping cart, I got a
So,
home entertainment system. Like, you got it all now. You got it all. But you're definitely right about that whole like, and in a short period of time when you think about it, you literally think about like movies like Back to the Future
mhm.
2, where it's like, yeah, we don't have hover cars, but we got boards, we got this, we got like stuff like that you really didn't think about is like, no, we actually have that right
Yeah,
now,
it's kind of crazy if
So
you think about
in a
it.
way, it is. But like I said, it's scary for me. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be on the schizophrenic side. You talk to the night. Y'all remember? Let me talk to that one.
But yeah, pull her from the back of the closet because she's bring her forward.
Bring that
Yeah,
one. Let that one talk to the rest of
right,
y'all. And then no, remember, come on. No, let me talk to that
right,
one. Bring
right.
that one back.
I mean, I
Bring
think,
the other one. No, bring those two. I talked to two of them. Like, girl, yeah.
and we're not like laughing at mental health at all, but it's just the reality of the
No, not at
situation
all.
because
It
you just never
is.
really know. You never know.
It
Mhm.
is. It's very true. And again, like I take public transportation. Yes, in LA, folks, I take public transportation. I take the bus. My son takes the bus to school.
But you said
Like
it's very, very
we
good,
take the
right?
we take the bus and whatnot. But there's um homeless people will get on the bus. We don't use the train system as much because of where we
Mhm.
are. And I know a lot of them will be in the train station, but as far as the bus goes, yeah, they're on there. In a way, I always tell my kid this is such a segue from TikTok, but
We'll
anyway,
reel it
y'all,
back. This is how it rolls.
we'll come back. I promise you, we'll come back. But I've always been adamant about my children learning how to use public
Yeah,
transportation
it's important.
because one, if you know how to use public transportation, you could use it
Right,
anywhere. If you're aware of how to, buy your fare, get on, read a map, or you gonna look for look for okay, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm looking at, you can travel
right.
anywhere, and especially in big metropolises. But also I want my kids to understand that there are different people
Yeah.
in the world. Some people, they are unhoused. There are some people really battling, like you said, with mental illness, and to be aware
Hmm.
of their situation. Be aware of their situation, but also for my kids to always be aware of your surroundings. Don't be so, I think that unfortunately is one of the downsides of technology because everybody on the phone,
Looking
everybody
at it
like
and
this,
walking.
like
And you
this,
know what? I
like
don't know
this.
if it's that common is as prevalent in the US, but you
Mm-hmm.
see that all the time over here in Asia. I swear to God, I see that all the time. Like there are even some cities where they've tried to implement um like devices and things on the ground. Like I know for a fact in Korea, some of the streets have the signals on the ground because people will be looking at the ground or looking downward at their phone and not looking up to see if they can cross the street. But there's so many things
Right.
that it is a big problem here as well too. People that just on their phone.
Right.
And flashback real quick. I know you remember when you were in Japan back in the day and you were
Mm-hmm.
riding a train when you were going from
Mm.
Kashiwa to Shibuya or wherever you were going. You would
Yep.
be on that train, you look around and you would see everybody doing what? They would mostly be reading a newspaper or
Reading a
reading a
newspaper
book or
or
asleep.
sleep or sleep. Y'all,
Right.
she's still there, but I lived in Japan for 6 years. So yes, I was
Now
there.
everybody's like
It
this.
wasn't just a visit. I was there.
Everybody is
Oh, I
everybody
believe
is
it.
on. I remember when I was living in Shizuoka, I was so enthralled with like how this salary man could fold his newspaper in like origami to get to the little section that he wanted to
Yes.
read because there wasn't that much space, you know.
Yes.
And now you
Yes.
never see people reading, period, on they're
Reading.
either asleep or they're looking
Yeah.
at a phone.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's like, and again, that's why I'm constantly, telling my kids, put the phone down.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. It's there. It's entertaining. It's fun. You can talk to your friends. Oh, somebody posted something on IG. Oh, it's a funny meme. Ha ha he
Yeah.
he. But you have to also be disciplined to learn. You have to unplug sometimes. You have to, as we're on technology right now,
Right.
but you have to unplug. You have to be aware because God forbid if some shit goes down and you just, or like you said, even walking across the street, that's something that I have to tell them. Don't have the phone out when you walk across the
No.
street. Like, don't put the
Or when
phone
you're riding the
down, walk across the
bicycle.
street
Yeah,
because
no. Mm-mm.
you never know if somebody's gonna be drunk, and I'm like, they drive crazy where I'm at. I'm like, there's been plenty of times me just walking, they ready to hit me,
Yeah.
pay attention, put the phone
And you
down.
should know, like, just your
um
surroundings. But, the upside to that is this, there's a lot of information that you can learn very quickly from the internet and just from social
yes.
media.
Yeah.
And that is something that I discovered way too late in the game from TikTok. Is like, I was like, I don't need
Mm,
another app. I don't need another social media outlet. No, I don't need it because there's too many right now. And then I went to TikTok and I was like, this lady taught me how to fix a
yeah,
light fixture in like 20
literally.
seconds.
Literally, I kept telling you, I was like, girl, get on TikTok. And you would be like,
Yes,
oh,
TikTok
I don't need
University
another app.
will have you learn how
Right.
to remove a stain, how to feed your kids a
Yeah.
delicious, healthy meal
Yep.
for like next to nothing, teach you a new
Girl,
language.
financial
Yes,
advice,
everything.
health advice, entrepreneur
Yes.
advice, or just, getting a tea. Why did I get married? You
Oh,
sit around like, oh
that
my
was,
gosh, this is a mini
yo, I
series,
was here for it.
like,
And I'm so glad she got
yeah,
out of that because we have some
yeah, me
marriage
too,
stories probably we could share. But that
girl.
was another one. I would also even say like, just the fact that you're able to find other information from, people that are connected through the hashtags or through other
Mm,
content producers that you just would have never been interested in. Things that like
right,
I just wasn't aware of because it wasn't really explained to me or I didn't learn it. For example, like what's
right,
going on in Gaza. I just never really knew, or just like things from the Bible that I just never studied. It's right there. And instead
right,
of me like Googling it and, filtering through various web pages, it was just very short, sweet, to the point usually. And once you figured out the algorithm, it just made it easy. So to see that it's
right.
being banned, mm, is just, I don't know. And I actually saw a very good TikTok video earlier today of this man that was saying, it's amazing how quick they can get together to ban an app, but they can't put no legislation in place for gun control, especially gun violence in schools. They said, and this was a
Girl,
white man that was like in his car, very angry, and he was just saying, they'll get together and ban this app because of China, but they won't get together and do nothing to protect your children who are in schools.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
that really hit the pavement for me. So I'm really interested to
Yeah.
see how it's going to work out. So the thing over here is we have quite a lot of content creators here that use TikTok, and a lot of the people that watch their TikToks are in the US. So I wonder if it's going to go the way of
Mhm.
Vine. You know, remember back in the day, it was really popular and then just kind of
Yeah.
disappeared, or if people will go to
Yeah.
something new, you know?
It's I've said it before, like it's something where you have to wait and
Hmm.
see. I did latest news is I think up for it's still up in the air as far as the 270-day extension, which would be 9
Okay.
months. That's still up in the air. President Biden, who will no longer be President Biden come Monday, but he's still the president right
Yeah.
now. And he definitely stated, like, look, if there's a way we can stop this right now, we'll stop it. Obviously, if the Senate is like, no, it's or not the Senate, but the Supreme
Hmm.
Court, if they're
Yeah.
just like, no, it's done, he's like, there's nothing he can do. That's how our government works. But it's just up in the air right now. We're literally just gonna have to wait and see what happens. I know I have been moving my content all day from TikTok to YouTube. Y'all can find me here.
Yeah.
If you want to look through my old videos, guess what? They'll be right here on YouTube. Just in case, because you should always have a backup.
This is true. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, but we'll see. And it's interesting with you being on the
Hmm.
outside, because that is true. You do have content creators who have a large US audience. What's going to happen when,
Right.
their followers are gone? Those views are gone. What's going to happen? Is this going to go the way of the dodo? People running over to Red Note, the Chinese
Yeah.
app, and even that's causing a little bit of, I don't want to say friction, but now China's talking about, well, they may have to do a separate one for foreign clientele. Hate to say clientele, but foreign users and then Chinese users.
Mm.
And now they're going to try to separate that, which makes that difficult because what about um Chinese Americans
Yeah.
or Chinese immigrants who that was their way of keeping in touch with their culture? Now they're cut off from that.
Right.
So it's a slippery slope. So all you can do is wait and
This
see.
is true. I think people just will wait and see. I think it's very interesting the timing of everything with,
Yeah,
Facebook and the changes that they're
yeah.
making and Instagram and whatnot. And so I'm like, one of these things doesn't belong here. And I guess that was TikTok.
Oh,
So we'll see.
old Huckleberg,
Yes,
the
yes.
old
Just,
Huckleberg.
and it's really coming down to like whoever seems to have, I guess, the most pull and
Yeah,
the most, I guess, influence.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah. That's all you can do is see, y'all. That time just moves forward, y'all. That's
but
all.
if you think
That's all I
about
can
it,
say. Time just move forward.
you could get
So,
together a
if
band.
y'all see my son walking in the background, he just lived it.
I see his picture too there, his baby picture behind you.
Is that? Oh yes, that was him. Yui's over here.
Okay,
Oh, he
that's
gonna
you.
come
Yeah.
on. You gonna come on and say hello? Say hello, Messiah. All that hair. You going to bed? All right, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Baby's going to bed. Baby's going to bed. So Kelsey, what's going on in Japan?
So,
What's
our
happening?
news over here is a lot less angry and stressful compared to your
Oh,
news. I mean,
I'm
a lot of it
dead.
has been talking about the fires in LA and just, the just the traumatic pictures that we get and video. It just really it's really left a mark. And so I think a lot of people are concerned because they have family, friends. There's a lot of celebrities, a lot of different things that happen in California that is related to
Yeah.
Japan and the rest of the Asia. So That has been on the news 24/7. We've had a few earthquakes, but a little bit cold weather. But basically, the news is mostly like very minor earthquakes.
Oh,
Fortunately, very very minor.
okay.
But I think a lot of the news is just like, oh, the cherry blossom forecast will be a little bit delayed this year, or here's a deer in Nara grazing. It's very calm. It's very quiet, and so I think for not to say we don't have problems, because we do have problems. We have problems over here.
Right.
But I think for us over here, the news is a very different experience for you guys in the States. And especially
Yeah.
when you have 24-hour news, or you have whole new channels devoted to
Mm,
news, this just in,
mm,
and so many different things going on. And we'll have to see how it changes throughout the year. I don't think it'll die down, because everybody is really watching the United States and what's going on there, especially with
yeah.
the president, the change of that, and just so many different ideas that have been floated
Mhm,
around for his cabinet, for taking
mhm,
countries, renaming places. I think everybody's really watching what's happening in the United States. In Japan,
mhm.
people are worried about when the cherry blossoms are going to bloom.
I would be worrying about when the cherry blossom look. Y'all, that's one thing I miss about Japan. She is not lying. She is not exaggerating. Um, News is peaceful. I feel like that was really the only place that I ever really watched the news. Like, even now, I'm not a news watcher. I was telling Kelsey earlier that when I was pregnant with Messiah, I was like, I'm not going to absorb anything that was
Yeah.
negative. Like, I'm very about what you digest is not just about food. What you digest, you hear, what you listen to, what you see, what you talk about, that's all digesting. So being very conscious that I was a mother, I wanted my baby to feel nothing but good vibes. So when I was pregnant with him, I stopped watching the news. All I watched was literally The Office and like comedy the whole pregnancy, the whole time, which is why he's just so sweet and wonderful now. And that's kind of still held true even now. I don't watch the news. People are like, oh, you see it on CNN? Nope. I'm like, oh, you see it on
Nope.
NBC? Nope. Oh, you see it on? Nope. I sure didn't. People are like, well, how do you know what's going on? I'm like, someone will tell me.
Yeah.
Same thing with the time. People are like, why do you don't wear a watch? I'm like, because someone will always tell me the time. Somebody will let me know what's going on. But
Yeah, or you can
you're right.
usually, like, you'll notice from your
Yeah.
surroundings, That's another
Oh
thing
yeah.
too. You can
Oh yeah.
see, oh, okay, some stuff is going down over there, or
Down. Yep.
so yeah,
Yeah.
it's very true. I think over here, there's been a lot of focus on like scandals, especially in politics. And because I am a resident, but I'm not a citizen, I don't vote or anything like that. So I don't really have that
Right.
much pull when it comes to politics. But the scandals that they're talking about, like corruption, in campaign elections, Japanese people are like shooketh from these things, and we're so used to it. We're like, oh, this is a regular everyday
Right.
Thursday in America. Like, what
Right.
is a campaign
Right. Right.
election campaign if there isn't a scandal? How do y'all make
Right.
that happen? But they're kind of experiencing
Right.
that. And then there's always celebrity scandals and gossip and things like that of that nature that's going on. But really, I think a lot of people are just kind of gearing up for cherry blossoms, and then as you know, like at the end of March is usually when students will graduate and go on to their next school or their next level in school, their next grade level. So the school system
Right.
here is kind of like all year long. They go to school. They have large chunks of breaks like in the summer and for New Year's or Christmas around that time. And
Right.
then Japan has a bunch of national holidays throughout the year. Like every month, I feel like it's every month except for maybe June. They have a holiday for something. There's a Green Day, there's a Children's
Oh yeah.
Day.
Oh,
There's what's the other days they got? They have Labor Day.
I miss the holidays.
Right.
I do. I miss the
There's a bunch of
holidays.
holidays. So I think people are kind of preparing for like the end of one chapter and then the start of a new chapter. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Well, like I said, the main thing over here, one president is
Another one is
going,
coming.
somebody else is coming in. I'm like Michelle Obama. I, I'm like my girl Michelle. I'm like Michelle. I'm just like, who gonna be there?
Nah,
Nah, I'm
I'm
alright.
good. I'm not going. I'm
Um,
good. I'll let you handle that.
girl, I'm in the 92%. Y'all will see me in 4 years. Don't ask me to come nothing. Don't ask me to post nothing. Don't know. I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break. Other than that, and LA being on fire, that's pretty much that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
I think it's good to
You
like
know, there's
refocus, just about
yeah,
this has really taught us to really focus on what's important. At the end of the day, like
mm,
what, the next president does or doesn't do or says or doesn't say, it will affect you slightly, but more so your immediate situation, your immediate family.
yeah,
That is more important. Friends and family and your career and things of that nature. That's really what we can control. And what you always say
right.
is we should only worry about the stuff we can control. Because if we can't
That
control
part.
it, there's no need to worry about it.
That, that part. You're absolutely right, Kelsey. So yes, believe me, next 4 years, I'm just focusing on, my
Yes.
voice work. I'm focusing on spending time with my kids. We're gonna be traveling more.
Yes.
Your kids, we're gonna be doing a
Yeah.
family trip
I'm
together.
so excited.
Focusing on this writing, y'all. Hopefully, I will finish this book
Yes.
in 2025. It has been my goal for like the past 2-3 years to finish my novel. It is not done yet. So I'm gonna focus on finishing this novel. But you're right. You focus on what you can control because what you can't control ain't no point of worrying
No,
about it.
not even.
So
This is so true.
yeah,
I think like you just gotta let it go. Let it go.
yeah. Let it go. That's what everybody do say. Say let it go, bag lady. Let it go. Let it go.
Like you
Let it go.
said.
You want your load to be light.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do a section in our podcast we're gonna be doing every week. It's called the Okazu.
Okazu.
Kelsey, what is Okazu?
Okazu is like it literally means like side dish. So if you see the pictures or you look at Instagram or whatever, you see the Japanese traditional meal. You got like a lot of little dishes. The main dish is probably going to be your fish or your meat, and then you'll have like your rice, your miso soup, and then you'll have some okazu, some other little side dishes, and they could be a variety of things. It could be some pickles, it could be some grilled vegetables, it could be a little potato salad, it could be anything. And this is the okazu. And today's okazu is a little bit of gossip.
Mm,
Drake. That's today's okazu. Girl, what is going on? You in LA. What is
girl,
happening?
Lord, Drake, learn to take the L, bruh. Learn to as adults, because since you a 38-year-old man, as adults, we have to sometimes recognize that we got to take the L. You're not going to win everything. Everything's not going to go your way sometimes. Sometimes you got to take the
Yeah.
L. This dude refuses to take the L. Like all 2024 last year, this dude was clown. Just Kendrick
And he was
just
crowned
stomped
in
on him.
various countries and various languages. I saw a Indian video where they had translated Kendrick Lamar's lyrics and they were clowning on into their language and were clowning on Drake. Like
Oh
it was a
my
global thing.
gosh. Yeah, it was a phenomenon. So of course couldn't take the L. So what did he do? He did the petition because they're using bots to make Kendrick's song bigger than what it is. And you know what? Everybody uses bots to an
Mm,
extent.
okay.
To an extent, they all do. This is something that is known in the industry way before streaming and all
Okay.
of this. You do promotion. You call the radio station, hey, play this
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Back in be honest, Drake, you got bots. We gonna be honest, you got bots. But yet you want to come and say UMG, which is actually your label, you suing your label, was doing this and inflating the
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 numbers.
the stream and
Mm.
whatnot. But yet Kelsey just told us in India they had their own translated version of Not Like Us. But whatever. It wasn't global apparently. So he ends up taking that. He withdrew that, but now he has formally sued UMG. Again, his like this is your label. You are under UMG. Because UMG is the
Yeah, the
big,
global group.
got everything.
Right.
Now you are formally suing for defamation, because of Not Like Us saying that you are a I'm not gonna say it, but
Cupcake chaser.
so you want to say that's what you are. So he's suing for that. I believe there's some another about violation and something, but basically it's all under like the defamation. Basically, it's an attack on his character and X, Y, and Z. And again,
He wouldn't have
what I
survived back in
say,
the day with Nas and Jay-Z, Ether
learn to
and
take the
back in
L.
the day when they were going hard back and forth.
This is what battle rap
Yeah.
is. And here's the thing, he's been in multiple battle. I mean, the whole thing with him and Meek Mills back to back. You literally did the same thing, but because it's coming back to you, and again, you didn't come on top.
Right.
That's another thing. I feel like, to me, this whole situation with Drake, it's immaturity, it's insecurity. People are finally telling you no, and you don't like it.
Yeah.
The
you can't accept it.
ego is like, the ego is just so inflated. And again, what I said, when you're an adult, you learn to take the L. You learn. You learn to accept it. Does it suck?
Yeah.
Yes. Does it bother you? Yes. Can you be upset about it? But you learn to take the L and you move on. Kelsey just gave you the rendition of Bag Lady. Let it go, let it go. She literally sang it for you.
I don't understand. So it's like I don't think he realizes, like, it makes him look like very cringy. It brings to mind this video I remember of DMX, rest in peace, because I loved DMX, where he was like, I don't like anything about Drake. I don't like how he looks. I don't like how he speaks. I don't like what the clothes he wears. And it's really giving those vibes.
Yeah. Mos Def said the same thing, although Mos Def doesn't go by Mos Def anymore. But Yasin Bey, I believe that's what he goes by. But said the same thing. He's like, yo, I can't do this, dude. And like you were saying, this is not helping. No. Like, I don't understand. Like, again, the ego.
You know what he could do to fix it? Let me just tell you. I don't know if Drake is listening or watching. He probably isn't. But what he could do to fix it.
He might, because let me tell you, girl, he also he listing content creators in his girl, yes.
Well, if I were him, I would just donate a ton of money to all these people in LA who have lost, and he's got it. I'm sure he's got so much money he could use some of it to wipe his butt at night and not even think twice about it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he's got so much money.
He was
that's what I'm saying. He could just.
He didn't see no money in LA. He got beef with LeBron James.
Wow.
Because LeBron was dancing. Yeah.
If he donated a ton of money, like a large sum of money, and then just didn't talk about Kendrick Lamar anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that would give him a little bit of positive light that would just be shining on him. So people would be like, they'd still talk, they'd still diss him. But, at least people like Drake, he did donate like $25 million to the displaced.
He she needs to go on sabbatical. Like, go on a retreat. Like,
Back
I
to
want, like,
nature and namaste.
I want you to go and meditate. Just go away for a while. You know, go. Let us miss you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's something that I feel certain artists, because I used to feel that way about Beyonce. Like, I used to feel she was always in my face, always in my face, always in my face. And then when she had Blue, when she had her baby, she took some time off. And then I feel like that's what she's been doing. She'll come, she'll be out, and then she'll go away for a while. So that it's her, and then when she comes back, it's just like, ah. And let me tell you, I'm in a beehive in a sense, you know, but my admiration for her over the years has grown because she allows me to miss her. She
Yeah.
allows me to just be like, oh, I really want a Beyonce album. And I feel like she hears me and she's like, all right, girl, I got you. You know, and
Well, can you
boom,
say
the
that to
album comes
Rihanna?
out.
Because I've been waiting. Rihanna,
Girl, Rihanna and her,
where's the
she
album?
in love.
Yeah.
Girl, she ain't think about
No, I feel
us.
like she's just
She,
like, no.
you remember what it was. You remember what it was like when you was in
Yeah. Or
love,
she's, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
She's like,
you ain't trying to. She in
yeah.
love. She in love. She don't care. She's
Right.
like, I'm in love. I got my babies. I might be trying to have another baby.
Right, right.
Like,
So yeah, maybe that's what he needs to
she's
do.
not
He
thinking
needs to
about.
just go take a break, let people miss
He
him.
needs to go
I probably
away.
won't miss him that
He needs to
much.
go away.
I don't hate him, but I'm not invested.
I've never been a Drake
Yeah.
fan, but one thing I always say is Drake is hits. He gonna make a hit. He gonna make a bop. He gonna make a good song. Go away, let us miss you, and then come back with a bop. Like, why is that so difficult? Why is that so hard? But again, your ego.
This is true.
The ego. When I tell you, y'all, hubris will always be your downfall. Listen to Greek mythology. I have a book up there on the bookshelf right
Right,
now. Read
facts.
it. Hubris
Well,
will
always.
always be your downfall. That ego is always gonna let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
And that's it.
Let it go.
That's
Cause
like you said, go away for a little bit and we'll miss you and be like, whatever, what is he doing? And then boop, maybe pop back in with a summer hit or something. But yeah, disappear for a while. It,
he needs to.
it is something that we're just like, huh, we're over it. We're over it, bro. It's gonna get,
Take that L.
yeah, right.
Grow
Well,
up into
we'll see how he's gonna
L.
react after next month because that's Super Bowl. So we'll see.
Girl. I can't.
I'm excited.
I'm be
I
screaming.
know.
TV.
Um,
Like, I'm going to the Kendrick Lamar concert. I'm like, unless it's the Bills in the Super Bowl, I won't care. I'm just waiting for
for the
the
concert,
concert.
right?
That's all. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
care
yeah, yeah.
about. Now, if the Bills, go Bills. If the Bills in it, yeah, I'm gonna be paying attention, but I'm still gonna be like, all right, halftime time for the concert, and then I'll get back to the
Right.
game. But if they not, I don't care. I'm just concert, concert,
I feel
concert.
you. Well, I think we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully, hopefully he'll get the hint, but who knows? I'm sure something else will pop off. There'll be some other gossip, something, you know, else will happen. But yeah,
You
that
know,
was the okazu. That was a little side dish for today. I needed to know
yeah,
about Drake and what was going on.
girl, girl. That Okazu was a whole damn entree. Anyway, you guys, that is it for us. Again, thank you so very much for tuning in. Please make sure you hit that
Yes.
like button. Please make subscribe. We will be here every week. If you guys have questions, comments, please put it in there. We'll talk about it. You want to know about life in Japan, if you want to know what's going on here in LA, what it's like raising
Yes.
kids, all of it, put it in there. Or if you want to talk more about Drake not taking it, put it in there. We're ready to talk about it all. You guys, thank you, Kelsey. I love you. I'm so excited.
Yes.
So excited for the show. Again, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you next
See
week.
you.
And
Bye.
bye.
Did I leave?